Spain has traditionally dealt with water stress episodes as well as uneven distribution of water. Water scarcity, water stress is part of our reality. A long time ago, we decided and discovered the importance of planning the infrastructures and the management of the water resources in a broad context so that every single basin could be covering the whole understanding of the potential needs, but also how to cover as the consideration of water like as a public good. The management of the whole basin, the integrated plans, the understanding of the different stress scenarios because of floods, because of droughts, are part of our main drivers when thinking about the policy dealing with water. Today we think that these are part of the best practices that we can put in place, but it has not been easy, and we think that we still need to keep investing, to keep learning, and to share our understanding, learnings, lessons, or even difficulties still being changed, still being challenging our reality with all other colleagues coming from different countries. Because climate change exacerbates all the risks, all the difficulties that we have been facing up to now. Stress, floods become much more frequent, and in the Mediterranean area we understand what this means. This creates an additional tension on the economy, on the societies, and of course on the different ecosystems. This is why we need to change our mindset. We need to prepare for what it is to come, because the new reality is absolutely different. There is not anymore average scenarios, average availability. We may be facing extreme situations with excess of water or with a strong lack of water. This is why in our new design we have reinforced some of the traditional elements and we have added some new ones. For instance, being sure that there is a very important and massive, intensive participation of the different stakeholders when defining the main drivers for the new policy. For instance, being sure that making the attribution of the water uses compatible with the standards of the environmental concerns is always respected. For instance, being absolutely sure that we can ensure access and sanitation to any citizen all over the country. Or for instance, integrating the non-conventional resources into the water cycle. Water coming from the reuse of water coming from desalination. And finally, understanding that we need to mobilize the public and the private investment towards the right direction. We need to cover the gaps and to update the quality of our sanitation processes. We have adopted a plan that works with sanitation, the reuse, the savings, the efficiency of the water all over the country, identifying there where there were still gaps and where we need to invest. Same for digitalization. We need to be sure that we can use the water in the wisest possible way. This is very important to anticipate where the problems may be, to identify where the leakage may be in the transportation of water in the urban cycle, to ensure that the final user is making the most efficient possible use of this very precious resource, to understand how we can make a parallel development of the hydro and meteorological models and scenarios, to prevent and to ensure that we can use this digitalization as a means to ensure that there is a proper discipline in the use of water qualities, but of course also any type of non-authorized use of water or pollution of water. Very frequently, we tend to think that water is a local policy, but of course there are many implications at the regional or global arena. And of course, there is a very strong need to cooperate in this field. This is why the whole team working on water policies in Spain take part of the different processes that we have been trying to promote or to participate in. We are fully committed with the SDG 6 accelerator framework promoted by the United Nations. But not only that, we work with the units in the different Latin American countries, Ibero-American countries, so to ensure that there is a full share of the different experiences so that we can improve the different measures that we adopt at home, but also that we can work with our colleagues coming from different countries in different initiatives, including the capacity of new researchers, of new possibilities or new challenges in the water management sector. Something which is particularly important, as I said before, in the Mediterranean region. This is why we have adopted the decision to promote a similar program in the context of the 5+5 Mediterranean area, so that the 5 West Mediterranean countries coming from the north and the 5 West Mediterranean countries coming from the south of this basin can work together in this very same field.